this is phenomenal. We've got a few people on here today that actually don't get the Young Living products. And I just want to tell you, this is the best time to actually get yourself an account to start shopping there. It's no different to going to Woolies, except that you don't have to go to Woolies and Coles. You just get on the computer and you can order your stuff and have it come to your home. All right, so welcome everybody. We're really excited. I have not put any makeup on. Suck eggs to people wanting to make you always look beautiful. Let's just go a la natural, right? And in fact, we've got such a great treat because I have these little microscopic little fans at the top of my eyes, but you're in for a really big treat soon, and I can't actually get it to put it on, but you'll be able to experience it when you buy it. We'll show you a little video on it. So but today I'm really, really excited because Young Living has actually launched a product that well, it's not really a product, but it's a way to actually get connected with Young Living on things that you want to put together. And this is an awesome time for that because there is a pack that we'll talk about later, which is Nature's Home, really, as a kit that you can actually buy that. It's protective for everything you'd want to do around the house to keep you safe, clean, and loving the smells. And you can get connected with that. It's only $188 and you get a huge range of products on this particular system. So I'm going to get Alan to share the screen so you can see it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you can choose, it's endless, the combination of products that you can actually put together, as you can see on the screen. And the simplicity of it is you just simply choose anything that you want that's valued at about 100 points. Now, for those people who are not in Young Living, every product, because the company sells worldwide, every product has been given a point system so that it keeps it the same throughout the whole world. And so if you tally up everything you buy and the points equal to 100 points, then you get in with this. And it's an amazing opportunity to put together stuff that you want specifically for you. And as I said, there's a real beauty coming on further down the track that you'll want to actually see. We've been told in the media, do this, right? And do this. But I said to Alan, can you share with us, how does the immune work? Why does it do what it does? And what things can we be doing on a daily basis other than just washing our hands and segregating ourselves away from people, that's going to empower us to get a stronger immune system so we don't have these issues?
Okay, now first off, what is it that we're not being told about this situation? Because this is the biggest, would you agree? This would be the biggest mystery that the human race has ever come across. Shake your head, nod your head, thumbs up, thumbs down, sad face, yeah. The biggest mystery, right? Yeah, thanks, Louise. What's that mean? Why for Young Living? That's it. So our one thing, what is it that our government is actually telling us is the answer to fix this problem? Or it's two things. Just unmute your microphone, one or two people. What is the first thing they're saying to do to help this problem?
Social distancing.
Distance.
Correct, distance. Number two?
Stay away from the shops.
Well, yeah, but that's your distance.
Wash your hands.
Wash your hands. Okay. That's their answer? Does anyone agree with that answer, by the way?
I know. It's totally one-sided.
Completely one-sided. So now, what is that one thing that we know that's not being taught? The ministers are not, there's in the health ministers in our, and the CDC, Center for Disease Control, all of these systems in America that has anything to do with health, I've not heard about it. I've heard nothing, absolutely nothing about it. What is that thing we've heard nothing about that could help our situation? Nothing on the news.
Your immune system.
Your immune
Who
system.
said that? The immune system. Now, do we have to have a medical certificate? Do we have to go to college, university, to MIT for 50 years to understand that one little simple word, immune?
No.
How come the only thing that's going to help us is to distance ourselves or wash our hands? This is the most perfect situation we've ever had in our whole entire lives to explain the immune system and what is the only thing that can help us. What we're missing is how to build our immune system. That is the only thing. Now, the best time in history is right now to teach people about the immune system because they're actually asking us. We don't have to go out telling people to build their immune system. Hey, and stay away from chemicals. Okay, now that gets me to the next subject. What are 3 things instantly we can do to help our immune systems? One is to do with peeling plastic and eating what? Chocolate bars, candy bars.
Stop eating sugar.
Okay, number 1, sugar. That's a like duh. I haven't heard anything. I didn't hear Koshi say that in the news. I didn't hear anyone in the news mention anything about don't eat sugar. So what does sugar do? It causes glycation. What the heck's glycation? Glycation is when the arteries end up with holes in them. If there's holes in your arteries, what does that cause? Cholesterol. Now, this is the most dumbest, simplest, stupidest thing that they're not telling us. So there's number 1. Avoid sugar. We don't want glycation. And of course, that's one of the precursors to sugar sensitivity, which is type 2 diabetes. So limit your sugar. I mean, you don't have to stop sugar, but at least take it down by 99%. And I'm talking about crystalline sugar, not fruit sugars. Crystalline sugar, the stuff that's in products. The next thing is the obvious one as well. What's that? Starts with V and it's got an O in it.
VO?
Not the vegetable office. No, you need that. Vegetable oils. Okay. So now with sugar stops makes glycosis happen, which is the pittering of the arteries. It also stops and slows down the macrophages and the neutrophils that are in the body. Now, what these do, these are Pac-Man.
Sugar does that, or
Sugar slows them down. So instead of them moving around inside your blood looking for bacteria, parasites, virus, cancer cells, they go around looking like this. They're like this. You don't even see them moving under a microscope. It's like
slow-mo.
It's like the $6 million man, but there's no music. It's very slow. They're not moving. They're sluggish, and they end up sticking together. Perfect example. Don't go away.
Okay, I won't.
Okay, I'm almost back. Here's the perfect example.
Go close.
See these things? There's 2 permanent magnets. So what happens in the blood, if you're alkaline or your blood is at a perfect pH, your erythrocytes should travel together and actually repel. Now, which way is it? Okay, you've seen a magnet do this, haven't you? Try and push these 2 together. They won't go together. They're the 2 poles are the same. They won't marry. Right? I'm trying to push them together. There's nothing I can do to push them together. That's a healthy blood. That's a healthy plasma, where your red cells are traveling side by side and they don't stick together. So therefore, oxygen can go all the way around them. Carries the maximum amount of oxygen. So now what happens as soon as I get an acidic situation, the pH changes and the polarity changes. So now the erythrocytes are now going to do this. Oh, where's the others? And this. Oh, look at this. That's called rouleau. If you've seen that in the dark field microscopy, I used to read blood years ago, and this is what I would see when the body's acidic. How is that supposed to carry oxygen? By the way, how is that supposed to get through the artery? It won't. But if I have them one by one, they can fit through the artery really easily, one by one. And then to the microscopic veins and capillaries, if the erythrocytes are like this, individual, single, they can get through. As soon as they become acidic, you're going to end up with a clot. Won't go through. Okay, so that's literally what a stroke is in the back of the neck here, when it causes the blood not to get to the brain. Now, this is not in the conspiracy realm. This is actually in the field of standard, common, everyday medicine. Every single person that's ever studied anything about nutrition or the human body, anatomy and physiology, everyone studies that exact principle that I just said then. Okay, so now that's what you don't want in your body going on, is the sugar. That's what it does. It slows down those erythrocytes to the point where they're not fighting. Your line of defense is got, your Marines have gone out to lunch. Okay, the next thing is vegetable oils: sunflower, safflower, peanut, soy, canola. What have I missed?
Oh, why don't you just tell us the ones that probably are easier to remember?
Okay, the ones you should use, they're easier: coconut, butter, ghee, animal ghee, not the vegetable ghee. That's it, really. Olive oil. Okay, so they're the good ones. So vegetable oils, now what they do is different to what sugar does. Olive oil, animal ghee, coconut oil, butter.
Right.
They're your safest oils to do what you need to do with at home. And you need to look in the on your ingredients when you buy products to make sure they're not there. And the Pac-Men are the white blood cells that are eating the pathogens, right? So what happens in the presence of vegetable oil? There are no pathogens, there are no white blood cells to eat the pathogens. The pathogens are bacteria, fungus, viral, cancer cells. Okay? They vanish from the blood serum during the time when you're eating vegetable oils. Now, I didn't hear anyone say that. The Centre of Disease Control never said anything about that. I haven't heard any politician say anything about that. ScoMo, he should have been mentioning that. He should have been helping his people. Where's the memo that he should have sent to everyone? Don't eat sugar and stay away from vegetable oils during this time. But not just this time, the whole entire life. Don't even focus on this. Should be our standard life. Okay? So I'm not saying this just because we're in this situation. This should be normal. This is just an amazing opportunity, because people are now eyes open, ears are open, the information is going into the brain. They're actually sitting on the edge of the seat waiting to hear more of this stuff. A month ago, people were going, yeah, I got a good pick here, and I'll sit here and scratch it, or I'll flick it on the wall. I don't know, they're doing nothing. They weren't interested. Now people are interested. They are so interested, they're actually absorbing this information. Okay, sugar, vegetable oils. What's the next thing we should avoid, which helps to kill our immune systems?
Chemicals.
Chemicals, yes. Who said that? I can hear that. Hi,
Me.
Helene. How are you? Correct.
Good.
Chemicals. Things like detergents, what you wash your clothes with, your Omo, your Fabs, your Palmolives, and your Earth, and all those things. They will destroy your immune system in a different way. They actually are they emulsify fat. Now, what are these things made of? These are made of fat. The erythrocytes are made of fat. And there's a lot of fat around your white blood cells as well. So if you put detergents into the body, it's going to break down the phospholipid layer that makes up this cell. Then the inside spews out, and you can't carry oxygen with that. So this is really dangerous. These are eukaryotic cells. I mean, ones that have nucleuses, and then there's cells that don't have. Either way, they're covered in fat. You don't want to put detergents into the body because it breaks down the cell. And that causes what they call, what's it called? Poikilocytes in the white blood. Now, these cells, if you look under a microscope with someone that's got detergent damage or chemical damage or Roundup damage, you see these end up looking like a Coke bottle top. See, it's nice and round. You remember what the Coke bottle tops used to look like? That's called poikilocytes. They change. And that's oxidative damage because the fat cells around the edge start to be pitted. Therefore, they can't absorb, and there's no receptors to receive the information. Okay, so that's why you don't want detergents. So this is absolutely paramount that we understand this stuff, and that the system that we're living in doesn't tell us anything about this. What's another one? Air. If we've got bad air around us, it's going to affect our immune system. If we've got bad water, we're drinking bad water with chlorine and fluoride in it, that's going to affect our immune system. If we're around areas with the wrong energy, negative energies, 5G, having your phone head all the time, all of that, that's going to affect the immune system. And we certainly know the 5G's got a problem at the moment. I won't get into that subject because do your research. We're in a mysterious situation now, which is confusion reigns. So they're the things we need to be careful of. Stop doing. That's called epigenetics. If I put a fish in my glass of water,
That's mine.
your glass of water, Nisha, but if that was water, I put a fish in there, and then I added a chemical, is it the fish that's sick or is the water sick? The water's sick and it makes the fish sick. Now, if I get some, if I spray in the air some poison and it lands on the water, that's going to make the fish sick. Is it the fish the problem? No, it's the air around it's causing problem. Epigenetics. That's what we are surrounded with is the problem. If we're in a field of energy, if we're standing next to a microwave oven 24/7, by the way, microwave ovens we know are bad, right? But when you put a Gauss meter on next to a microwave oven, it might get to about 3 or 4 on the Gauss meter. You stand next to a 5G tower, and it'll go shoo off the scale to the most deadly situation. And we all know how bad a microwave is. So yes, those situations are going to affect your immune system. So your immune systems do have to worry. But people that have got a strong immune system, you don't need to be concerned at all. Remember years ago, cryptosporidium was in the water supplies and a lot of people in old age homes died? We didn't because we have strong hydrochloric acid levels in our guts. It actually knocked the cryptos straight out, where an older person doesn't have it, usually because they're on cholesterol-lowering drugs and medications, which allows the urethra, the white blood cells to not be able to get out through the artery wall to eat those pathogens. And also, in your body, if you've heard of microbiome, haven't you? That's in the gut, it's on your skin, it's in your feces, it's everywhere, right? Microbiome.
Yeah.
In the brain, it's very powerful and very needed. We're talking. Did you know there's a biome as well? Anyone heard of a biome?
This is live anyway.
It is live. Thanks, Christina. Did you know there's a biome? Anyone heard of a biome? Anyone? Shake your head. Go yes or no. Or no, yes. No, there's one no. Anyone else? Anyone else heard of a biome? Ah, Karen's heard of a biome.
I'm going to check by this. Somebody
One.
give me
Oh, hang on.
chats.
Nope. Okay, Natalie said no. So how come we haven't heard of biome lately? You know, a biome is like the microbiome, and that's talking about bacteria, good and bad. The biome is, we're talking about 380 trillion biome, which are viruses. Viruses. We've got 380 trillion viruses in our bodies. So, Linda, let me shake your hand. Watch this. I've just passed over to Linda probably 100 billion viruses because I've touched her. Have you been told that? We've been doing it all our lives. Like, this is like, it's enough to drive you crazy because we're not being told any of this stuff. We are full of viruses. If I had a plate full of old meat and rotted vegetables and leave it out in the sun, what's going to happen? It's going to attract vermin, rats, mice, flies, bugs, right? Maggots are going to sit in that bowl. Now, what has it created? It's created an ability for all of those microorganisms to break it back down into carbon so that it doesn't remain toxic. So these viruses that are in our bodies, by the way, did you know we had so many viruses in our bodies? Ever heard that before? Anyone? Anything? No? No? Yep. Louise says yes. Okay, so we got half and half. Did you know we had that many? It's like, it's probably one of the biggest parts of our bodies is these viruses. We aren't to be scared of viruses, just like we're not to be scared of the flies that are eating that thing, that bunch of crap that's putrefying. Because as soon as we remove that putrefaction, you don't have to kill the flies. They'll go visit someone else. The rats will go somewhere else. You clean up the mess and they're gone. So our immune systems, keeping them strong, is allowing for those viruses and parasites and bacteria and funguses. They don't need to be in that area. They can go back into our bodies where they're dormant, where they're not actually needed. They will come out when they're needed. So now, what do we do to build our immune systems? They're the things we don't do. What are the things we can do? Well, that's pretty easy. Anyone heard of inner defense? I know probably most of you have. Inner defense has some amazing, powerful substances. And where's my light? It's just there. I'm sorry. My light's just there. I don't need glasses, but I need light. Just a little light. Okay. So now here we go. What does this... I'll just read it off the bottle because I've got to stay compliant, right? Whatever's on here is legal. So I'm reading it straight off here. I don't want to use my memory because people might say, that's not compliant. Well, okay, you can't change that because it's written on the bottle. And it's got approval from our authorities. So we got oregano. We got thyme, lemongrass, lemon oil, eucalyptus, all essential oils, by the way, rosemary, cinnamon, and for adults, blah, blah, blah. Inner defense supports the body's natural defenses and healthy immune function. Woo. I didn't say that, by the way. It's written on the label. Through antioxidant support and promotes a healthy lifestyle regime. Support healthy respiratory. Oh, now there's an interesting one. What's this? It's been manufactured specifically to work with the epithelial cells of the lungs. Right? That's the design, to cause pulmonary issues. Fascinating, eh? This thing said what? Let me read it again, just in case I got it wrong. Respiratory.
Down.
What? Oh,
Light further down.
supports a healthy respiratory function and infused with oregano, thyme, rosemary, cinnamon, essential oils for antioxidant support. Wow. Wow. That's just one capsule of that, right? So if these news reporters and these medical people was actually smart, the washing hands and keeping a distance would be secondary.
That'd be the no-brainer.
That's like duh. Like everyone knows when you've got a cold, you'll go up to your friend and you'll go to kiss them to say hello, and they go, well, hang on a minute, no, back off, I've got a cold. And normally my standard response is, I'm immune, don't worry about it, give me a hug, because I flub. Right? But we also got to be careful and not be stupid about this either. So whatever the government's doing, let's just follow what they're doing. What Trump has done, excellent, right? Whether you don't like him, you do like him, what he's done is actually, he's done some good stuff. And lots of other things we don't want to talk about at the moment, because I have not stopped studying this subject. Man, my brain's full of it. Okay, next one. Inner defense was one. Here's another really good one. Omega Gies. Okay, Linda, what's in Omega Gies? Read it off the bottle so we stay in the compliant stage.
Okay, I'll read it here.
Okay.
Away from the sun. I'm away from the sun.
Away from the sun.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just got to find it here. Hang on.
Just give it back to me.
No. It said it combines Omega-Gize combines clean water, derived omega-3 fish oil, CQ10, CoQ10, vitamin D3 in capsules to support a healthy cardiovascular system, bone health, brain function, healthy teeth, mental function. It helps embrace general well-being in adults, as well as supporting energy levels. It also includes a proprietary blend of essential oils in a capsule.
Yeah, see that? Essential oils have been mentioned again.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, because you heard the
Oh.
speaker, the microphone there. So that's what you call Omega-Gize. Now,
From the TGA.
from the TGA. Now, the another thing is what they didn't mention. They've never the news reports have not mentioned anything about zinc, vitamin A. Oh, what's vitamin A? If you could look at those red cells or the cells of the body under a microscope, you would actually see the carotenoids from your food. What are carotenoids? Well, there's some red, beautiful carotenoids. It's actually carotenoids in the Ningxia red. High in Ningxia, it's very high in the Ningxia red is the carotenoids. Those carotenoids, when you look at them under a microscope, I wish I had a photo of it here, you can see the carotenoids around, like a corona around the cell. Corona, corona. Sorry, that's what's around the sun too, by the way. It's a corona. That's that glow around the sun. It's called the corona glow. Now, the red cells under the microscope have got a red corona around them, which are those bioflavonoids from the reds of our foods. The body converts them. That's the vitamin A. And that's the strength of our cells is in that vitamin A. That balance and boosts our immune system just from eating our foods, the red foods and the red drink. How incredible is that? Now, lemon is another one. Remember, you've got vitamin D. You stand out in the sun, which they say, keep out of the sun. Now, that's another crazy thing because they're not teaching us these things. What I'm telling you now is what you need to be knowing and what you need to help yourself with. Totally compliant, all this stuff. You can tell anybody this. This is on a public Facebook page, so anybody can jump on here and listen to this. Now, here's another one. Olive. Now, see this one here. I can play a video. I will in a second. This is a product called Olive Essentials. Actually, let me share the screen with you. I'll play that for you right now.
Yep.
Olive Essentials. There's some facts about it. It's a patented technology. It's a water extract. It's obtained directly from the olive fruit. It's all free of pesticides. It's also certified, and it's certified as generally recognized as safe.
Now I want to talk about one of the favorite new products that we've launched this year. It's called Olive Essentials. Now, the benefit of olive oil and olives to health has been known for years. Scientists have now discovered the major polyphenol in olives and olive oil. It's called hydroxytyrosol, and it's one of the most powerful antioxidants found in nature. We've been able to find a proprietary process that extracts hydroxytyrosol from olives using water. The result is Olive Essentials. Each plant-based capsule in this bottle contains concentrated hydroxytyrosol from olives. In fact, each capsule contains 20 milligrams of hydroxytyrosol. That's as much as an entire liter of olive oil. Olive Essentials. Use it every day to support total body wellness.
Have you got any questions, by the way, about the immune system?
Unmute yourself when you want to share.
Questions?
Yeah, what about
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Bev.
hi, how many of these tablets should we take of the Omega-Gize and Inner Defense?
Okay, well, what's written on the bottle will be 2 a day, and Omega-Gize is 4. And sometimes I've taken up to 6 of the Inner Defense. My choice. I'm just telling you what I do.
Thank you. That was what I wanted to know. Thank you. That was what I wanted to know, what your choice is.
Yeah. Thanks. That was
Are
it.
they all available at the moment? Because I ordered
Yes.
last week and okay.
Yeah, well, yeah, they are available at the moment, and we have had the biggest run on anything to do with the immune system, anything to do with antibacterial, antifungal products, and it's been just mind-blowing. So many people are very open now to understand what it is you are going to explain to them. So share this video with people, and hopefully it may trigger something in their minds, because it's happening world over at the moment. But it shouldn't just be now, it should be all the time. Hey, Simone,
Hi.
did you have a question?
No.
I've got a question. I've got a question.
Yes, go, George.
Hi, Alan. Hi, Linda. How are you? Good to see
Good.
you. Yeah, my question is, and you've already got a bunch of oils. Have you got a recipe that you can share with us of how many drops of this and that to use?
Okay, first off, how are you going to prove you have it? Because it's part of a series, a bunch of different... Okay, let's just assume. Okay, well, I would be... Well, there's certain things that I can't tell you because we're on a public channel that I do. And I do them all the time, not just now.
Can you email like a recipe, you know, whether it be 3 drops of frankincense, 2 drops of oregano?
I can't go down that path with oils because there's...
Look, all of
Inner Defense
has got all the oils in there.
Yeah, they're all
but I don't want to go buy them because I've already got a bunch of oils that I can use.
Buy the Inner Defense, right?
It's worth it.
It's worth it. The Omega Gies is certainly worth it. Ningxia Red is absolutely extremely valuable. Mineral Essence, absolutely amazing colloidal ionic minerals. And that's a whole subject all on its own. But those are the products that I take that I can tell you publicly that I do all the time, every day. And I also include, for anyone that's over 25, sulfazyme, only because they're the ones that start getting sore in places, and BLM.
But
all the time.
Specifically for the immune, Georgia, is those 4 items, they are actually, the TGA has said these are going to support that part of your system. So they're all oils anyway. And yes, you might have oils, but using those, if you do have it right now, you will just ramp it up, like Alan said, a little bit more than normal for the body to start doing what it needs to do.
And if you're
I don't have it, by the way. I don't have it. No, I'm just saying if someone were to have it.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I know. Yeah, we know you don't.
And so should everyone be on Inner Defense all year round? You're saying it's cool to take 2 a day every day all year round?
Yes and no. And the reason why I say yes and no is because there is, what's the carrier in this? Do you remember? That's the light. What's the carrier in it? Hang on a minute. And I'll tell you why.
Bottom line, I remember Gary saying that you don't want to be doing the same things all the time over and over. Because
okay, got
the body actually adjusts to that, and then it doesn't respond the same way to it. So we actually keep Inner Defense more for when it's that time of the year, rather than taking it throughout the whole year.
And the reason why I said yes and no is because it does have coconut oil in it. Now, coconut oil is good for you, right? But coconut oil does create an ash residue within the cell walls, just like every food item does, every herb does. An essential oil leaves no ash. So therefore you can't build up a resistance to an oil.
Alan, we need everyone to mute, please.
Can everyone remute again? Everyone's got noisy again.
Yeah, noise in the background. So what you're saying is really hard to understand. There you go.
That's better. Someone was typing. I thought it was an earthquake. What was I saying then? What was I saying? Remind me.
Coconut
Ash
oil,
is-
everything
yes.
leaves an ash, essential oils.
Yeah. Now, the reason why you can't build up a resistance to an oil, an essential oil that's properly distilled with all of its music still within itself, is because it takes 20 seconds for the body to absorb it. It's in the body 20 minutes, and then it becomes gone. It's completely gone. It's only the energy, the vibration that's left, and that'll stay there for 3 days. So you can only build up an allergic reaction or an issue with a substance that's not, that doesn't become part of the ether. When oil becomes part of the ether, so there's no physical substance left behind. This is the beauty of an essential oil properly distilled. But the minute you put a carrier with it, then it does alter that, because it will leave a slight residue, which means you can eventually build up some sort of resistance to it. Does that make sense?
And thanks for your comment, Karen Thorley. Georgia?
And Georgia?
Look up Karen Thorley's option. Okay, so if
Any
you
other
want
questions?
to support the immune system, inner defense right now is important. And as Karen said, I wonder what oils are in here that Georgia might have. Omegas are really important because we've got to protect the cells, and minerals are really important if you want to keep up your immune system.
Let me let you in.
Every single one of these tells you that it's going to help support your system, right? So these are definites that you should do on a daily basis. These are what you're going to use the inner defense to ramp up something a little bit more,
I'll
right?
be doing it right now, by the way.
Yeah. We always start way before, because see, here in Australia, winter hasn't come yet, has it? Right? Unless you live in Tasmania, because
Which we do.
we had like big thick coats out today to go outside because it's freezing here. So winter, as it's coming, start incorporating this into your lifestyle, as Alan said. Avoid those things that are going to lower your system, so that these are going to be doing the best they can, because there's no point doing things that are compromising the integrity of what these do too, right? So it makes sense. Okay, that was good. Thanks. If you've learned a lot.
Come on.
There's a couple of people in the chat that have asked about the hand sanitizer and the 60% alcohol. Can you just go and whether you need to have 60% alcohol?
Well, I think they say 70%, and we are in that category.
65%, I think it is.
We are in that category. Yes, definitely, 100%. It does fit the bill perfectly, and it's not toxic. The alcohol in it's been denatured with peppermint oil, which is not toxic. All of those hand sanitizers that you're currently using, by the way, dermatitis is going to go through the roof in the next 6 months, because every 5 seconds people are using that stuff. And the alcohol that makes those hand sanitizers is denatured. What does denatured mean? They poison the alcohol. Why do they poison the alcohol? Because companies that make, like, is it Purell? They order ethanol by the companies that produce ethanol by the millions and millions of liters, right? So if they are ordering a drinkable alcohol, how does the government know that they're not using it for other purposes? So what they do, they take away the possibility of them using alcohol for other purposes, and they are forced by law to poison the alcohol before they sell it to companies like Purell, all of those companies. It's a law that they must poison the alcohol so that they can get the tax off. Otherwise, they'd be paying for drinking alcohol, which is very expensive, and they wouldn't be able to put in those little bottles and sell them for cheap price. So Young Living's in the same category, remember. It also has to buy alcohol from these companies because Young Living doesn't produce their own alcohol. So they have to get the tax off the alcohol as well. So how do they do it? Well, the law was back then, they have to poison it with a chemical. And Gary said, well, we don't want to use your chemicals. Can we use peppermint as our poison? And guess what the government said? Yes, because they believe peppermint oil is a poison. And Gary's gone, ka-ching. Let's do that. So they poisoned our ethanol, our drinking ethanol with alcohol with peppermint oil. And then they add the thieves to it. How awesome is that? So therefore, it's not damaging your liver the same as the other stuff, because the alcohol is below 500 AMUs or atomic mass units, and that will get into cross the blood-brain barrier through the brain and also gets into every part of the body, and it damages the liver, and it comes out in the skin and causes these cracks, and your liver is actually poisoned, and your body's trying to repel and get rid of these poisons out of the skin.
I just had an aha moment
What?
as to why we've been told that the alcohol kills the viruses. Do you know why?
I've got ideas. Tell me yours.
Well, because alcohol is so fine molecularly, it gets into the cells. And because it's able to get into the cell, it's able to knock it down.
And this is why
other
the drunks.
products
This is why drunks don't get sick often.
So that's why
They can't live in that
That's why washing with normal soap won't actually do anything to kill it.
Because it's a fat base. It won't get into the cells.
Correct. Right?
But you stick an essential oil into which is actually classed as an antibacterial
into the alcohol. It's all going
Man,
in and knocking it out.
You got some real strong, powerful stuff.
Okay, so our next door neighbour, with the job she has, she's having to be using the normal stuff, the waterless hand cleaner type things, and she's already starting to develop cracks in her hands. So we've just given her some of ours, which she's very darn lucky because they're limited, right? You can only order one set per month. But I'm going to teach her how to make one with alcohol and using aloe vera and putting in the thieves oil.
There it is. And don't put the chocolate with it.
So she can at least make some for her business as well, so that they can at least get by this time and her hands stop cracking the way they are. I got a question here, and it said, what's the difference between having mineral essence and a pinch of Celtic salt under the tongue, Alan?
Okay, well, first off, your Celtic salt, let me get it. Hang on, let me get some Celtic salt. I'll show you. Okay, so first off, there's that and there's that. This I can shake, it's solid, and that's a liquid. The difference is, first off, if you put this in water and turned it into a liquid, it'd be like me saying to you, hang on, let me get a knife. It'd be the same as me saying to you, I've got this knife and I've been sitting outside for years and it's gone all rusty. So now I'm going to go like this to get the iron off it. Am I going to get iron with that rust? Thoughts? Am I going to get my iron levels up by licking the rust? Okay. No. Karen said no.
No way.
Everyone's no. No. Everyone knows that. I don't even need to explain any science there, because it's like, duh, of course you're not going to get it. So then if you look at your breakfast cereal and look on the bottom of your Nutri-Grain, you're going to read on there iron. Iron, niacin, riboflavin. You've seen those on the bottom of your Weet-Bix packets and your cornflakes, right? You all said, no, you're not going to get iron from that. So then why are you having that breakfast cereal? Because that iron that's in there is that rust from steel.
How come it's not working here?
And it's not going to give you iron into your system because it's not ionized and it's not colloidal. It needs to be both. If I could turn that iron in this knife,
I can't, it's not working.
And colloidal, then you would get the iron. So now, your salt, if I could turn that salt and make it become colloidal, which is a positive suspended in a liquid, and then ionize it as well as make it colloidal, then you would get some benefit out of the salt. You're going to get tiny benefits, because it's what the benefit of salt is, Celtic salt in your body, is it helps electricity to flow. But when you're having a colloidal ionic, you're getting the electricity to flow, but you're also getting minerals into the cell, because that is the structure of your body. every part of us is these types of minerals that are able to be absorbed into the cell structure because it goes in as a liquid or as an energy. This can't.
But what if you dissolve that into water?
If you dissolve it into water, you could turn it into a colloidal type, but you're not going to have it ionized. You would have to. This allows electricity to flow. Yes, it does. But this allows electricity to flow plus gets the minerals into the cells, into the structure. Got to be colloidal and ionic. This is not colloidal and they're not ionic. Another example would be put this knife in the ground, make it go rusty. The plant then uses the iron, turns it into, gives it an extra charge of ions, and then the ions then go up into the plant with the iron, and then it turns it into a ionic colloidal form. Does that make sense? Everyone's eyes are spinning. Okay, that's it.
Bottom line, you can use the Celtic salt. It has lots of minerals, but the mineral,
it helps electricity to flow in the body.
but
It's still needed.
Mineral essence will help permeate it into the cells a lot easier. And the amount you actually have to use is so small to actually get it in. It's kind of an easy way to kind of get it into the cells fast.
Correct, Barbara. It doesn't have any heavy metals. That's good.
Yeah.
And it has got 84 odd minerals. So yes, we do need it. You don't want standard sodium chloride because that's only one mineral of 84 minerals, and that's completely out of balance, which is what all of your detergents are, out of balance. And your essential oils you buy in the shop, they're all out of balance because they've only got one or four compounds in them.
So going back to the amazing things that they've got at the moment, remember we said when we started, you can customize your own kit. So if you're new and you haven't got an account yet, you can actually go on, and the person who actually referred you in here to listen to the information can show you how to do this. But they can help you put up a kit together if you like. The other thing that's really cool for Mother's Day, because it's coming up now, Young Living's actually started to put together Mother's Day promotions. And I know for me as a mum, I would much prefer this than anything else. But one of the kits that they have is this little pouch, and it's got Stress Away, Purification, and the Lavender Lip Balm. It's only while stocks last with these guys, but they're a great deal. It's $65 at wholesale, but the oil, like Stress Away itself, is like how much? Normally, I can't remember. But they're great deals. So if you're looking for a Mother's Day present, if you're looking for a Mother's Day present,
this back again.
Sorry.
Okay, it's back again.
Here? Okay.
Well, you click that one, it goes to the next slide.
Oh, okay. I can do that too.
But then you're going to run out.
But I slide.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So another one that they've got is these vaporizer with 2 oils. That's $89 in wholesale. But those vaporizers, I love them in my pocket, and actually will pull them out sometimes. And even when it's really hot, I will put peppermint in there and just cool myself down.
What about thieves while you're walking around the shops? Breathe it through.
Oh, that's an idea, isn't it?
Just keep breathing it.
That would be a cool one. Another one that they've got for Mother's Day, which are all at reduced prices, is this cute louver, and they've got the bath and shower gel. And I can't see what the other one is. The screen's on the top of it.
Yeah, move this out of the way. Move that.
It's going the wrong way.
Oh, what's it done? Look, I can't. I don't know.
Anyway, okay, let me
move it down. Bring your mouse back.
Let go. Let me just do it.
What's happening?
It's an oil, and I think the oil is called Lady Sclerol. Which is a really cool one for mums, keeping us all calm and sedated so we don't end up having becoming dragons. And here's my favorite. They've got 2 new mascaras that they're launching, and one of them is a lengthening one, and you can't see mine, but they're little tiny microscopic things.
And play the video.
But that's really cool. But this one I'm going to love even more, and it's a volumizing one. Their prices are the same price, guys, $79, and I reckon they're really good value because I've bought my mascara from Young Living, the other one, and it's lasted me such a long time. And I've actually looked at what they put in mascaras, and we don't want to be using them. And now we've got options for volumizing and lengthening, and they've actually, let me show you the video of it. I'll show you first of all this slide. Can you see the volumizing one? How thicker it's made the eyes and the lashes. But I'm going to put a video on. And because that's the other thing that they're actually launching as well is for Mother's Day is the Savvy Minerals. Have you got it playing? Wow. So for those people, and I need it because I just have no lashes. So those are going to be my go-tos. And of course, Alan mentioned the olive leaf extract. I don't know what he's doing now. Okay. So that's an amazing product that we've got that's passed through our TGA. It's listed there with them, which means it does what it says it's going to do. And honestly, the equivalent, like when you're looking at this product, it has no pesticides that have been used at all on the olives for it to be formulated for us.
Parsley, essential oil, and rosemary oil in it too.
Yeah, and it's the equivalent of one of those capsules is the equivalent antioxidant properties of what a litre of olive oil is. So your bottle has 30 capsules in there, that's how much olive oil you'd have to actually eat in order to get the same properties. And I noticed with me, if you had the whole bottle, I know for me, because I've started using it, I've noticed differences with when I'm going to the bathroom using it as well. But if anybody wants to improve the quality of their arteries and stuff, this is definitely one to get on there. It's $69.50 retail and $52.80 wholesale in Australia. So it's a good one to start incorporating into our lifestyles. There's also the Illuminize, which is great for the eyes, and there's the $54 for that. There's a lot of info on this, guys, and because we've taken so long on the other aspects that we've done, I'm going to skip through them. But Illuminize, anybody whose eyes are starting to struggle, it says on, actually, let's put it on. Alan wants to watch it.
I'd like you to watch it.
Did you know that digital eye strain is becoming a major health issue? 72% of children spend more than 2 hours a day on digital devices. About 85% of adults spend more than 2 hours a day. This results in eye strain, dry eyes, headaches, and even blurred vision. The cause is blue light, which is the higher energy, shorter wavelength part of visible light. We've developed a new eye supplement that delivers an optimized blend of compounds to support your macular pigment. It's called Illuminize, and it really works. This product actually protects eyes from damaging blue light found in sunlight and mobile devices. It helps protect and maintain healthy cells in the eyes. It helps with photostress recovery. It improves visual performance. It reduces eye strain. It reduces eye fatigue. It helps prevent night blindness. It helps support vision in low light settings. This is a product that everyone should use every day. Your sight is just too important to risk.
They've got some really cool promotions for Mother's Day. If you want to get something really nice for mum, then jump on there and have a look at all the things that they have. They'll be on from Monday onwards for sale. Now, that Home Essentials kit that I mentioned, it's at the moment, it's 100 PV. If you know people who want to get connected and they want to get specific things for the home for well-being and supporting cleanliness in the home, that's a really good kit. It's 100 PV and it's $188. But as of Monday, it's going to go to $199. So today's the day to get on board and get on to people who have been wanting to get connected to Young Living, and they can start just purely with that and get those products into their home real fast. So get on and start talking to people about that one, because today's the last day for $188 on that kit. So they're going to save $10 instead of waiting till tomorrow. But everything else they can add on from tomorrow onto their accounts or purchase it for Mother's Day. And they've got some beautiful gifts, as you saw. If anybody is out there, Alina Simpson, I saw you there. I'm happy for that mascara. You can buy that for me for Mother's Day. So with that, guys, we're probably going to finish off.
Tell them about the Fun Team page too, because a lot of people might not even know that there's a Fun Team page.
Well, why don't you tell?
Okay, the Fun Team Lifestyle Essentials page. I know Georgia has just gone, but she wouldn't know that it's still available. So yeah, if you talk to your person that told you how to come about this webinar, and they'll tell you how to get onto the Fun Team page. It's called Fun Team Lifestyle Essentials. And if you've got a member number with Young Living, send it to us, and Linda will see it, and then she can add you to that page, because a lot of this information, we can be more specific on that Fun Team page. Every Sunday morning, we have lectures and training on there at 8:30 Sydney time.
Yeah, okay,
thanks. That's a commercial.
So guys, that's pretty much it for us today, excepting I wanted to leave you with one thing before you went, and that is the concept of, and it might be something that you've never thought about, but sharing this stuff with other people. Right now, Young Living is, every other company is going down. Young Living is going up. Network marketing companies in general are going up. And that's because people are seeing the value in being able to get another source of income. How big or small they want to make it, it's up to them. And they can do something to contribute to their household. Now, a lot of people are saying, oh, people are going to stop buying, they're losing their jobs. We're not seeing that. We're seeing that when something is of value to people, they do it because they can see why they need it in their homes. So if you haven't thought about sharing it with people, do so. For us, and let me tell you why this is a good model for people to be sharing, because when I first started, my life, I decided I was going to be a teacher, and I started doing the teaching, but I found that financially didn't bring us what we wanted at home. And so I decided to do something with those skills, and that was to buy a Kit McGrath tutoring business. Now, that was a franchise, and the reason why I chose it was because with that system, I was actually able to get help to be able to share what I needed, my skills for teaching, but I didn't know, how do I organize things? How do I get all the models together and every single, step-by-step progress for kids to get to where they needed to be. And so I chose to go down that path because I was going to get that support. Well, that cost me $40,000. Did you hear that? $40,000 it cost me to do that. And then when I looked at Young Living, when I got kicked in, Alan was doing it and I couldn't care less. But as I started using the products, I found that I started to love them, and all I wanted to do was to tell people about them. And this check started to come, and I went, how does this business work so that that happens? And when I opened my eyes and I actually took a look at how this model worked, it blew me away. So where I had the franchise and I had to pay bucket loads of money, I didn't have to do that anymore. What I was doing is I was buying products that I just wanted to use for my home, and I was sharing it with people. And if they liked it, they bought it. And if they didn't like it, they didn't buy it. And I thought, well, that's okay. I'm telling them what I have and they can do it. And the check started growing. I didn't have to outlay $40,000. All I did was purchase my product. So that's one good reason why you would want to incorporate something like this. I think in actual fact, there's 1.5 billion people that are actually doing a home-based business now in the world. I know when I did the statistics, around 2017, 2018, there was about 117 million people that were doing it. That's grown exponentially.
First, and they say million.
Yes, that was in 2017. Currently, 2020, there is 1.5 billion people who are actually doing network marketing as a way of earning an income stream. That's huge as compared to 117 before. So it's grown phenomenally. Apart from that, I think the statistics a few years back were over 180 billion dollars that people were actually spending through network marketing companies, which is huge. So these are not scams or schemes or whatever. They're a legitimate business that can actually generate an income to people. And if it's products they love, products they're passionate about, they're going to buy it. And the company will pass that on to you instead of to the big conglomerates that they normally use to actually get their product out into market. Actually, right now, there is over 500,000 people in Australia that are actually doing a network marketing business. That's huge. And most of them are women. Like if I had a look on the screen here to how many people are on here, I can see a few blokes. Yay, Lyndon. Yay,
Good
Ben.
on you, Lyndon.
Yay, John. Right? You guys are on the ball.
Who else do we miss?
And
hey, John Player.
And you've seen something
John.
that can work. But if you look through the screen, you guys that are on here, you'll see that 75% are, no, we've probably got 80 to 90% are women. So we women have we are naturally doing what we're good at, and that is sharing information with people and passing on something that we love and that's really enjoyable for us, right? It's mind-blowing. And I was listening to a guy the other day, Ryan, actually, and he was saying that in today's world, the highest earners in network marketing businesses are under 25 years of age, because they've already cottoned on to the concept of sharing and not having limitations. But the beauty of this business is it doesn't cost you anything to get on. You have a huge support team that can actually help you to be successful. I paid $40,000 for that from Kip, and nobody has to with this industry. And all you're doing is you're sharing something that you think is going to make their life better. It's just a no-brainer to share it. So if you haven't thought about sharing it, share it. People need to know it. And people, I can tell you, people may not have a lot of money, but they will spend it where they see value. And for us in Young Living, we've seen that during this time frame, people are buying what they need to buy and they're leaving things. You know what? They're not going to be buying their chocolates at the moment, so they might as well put it on waterless hand cleaner. So if you haven't, just be open to the possibility that there's a huge option here for people to get some income into their homes and start sharing it. Be bold with what you say. Don't hold back, because people need it. And the worst they can say is no thanks. And the worst you can do is never tell them about it again, right? So if someone says not interested, just don't tell them, because your job is not to convert them. Your job is to let them know it exists. And when you know how these businesses exist and work, it's mind-blowing. Not are they getting great products, phenomenal products they can't get in the marketplace, but they're also having an opportunity to bring some money into their household. And that's huge. So get on board if you haven't. Go and talk to whoever you're working with and just say to them, you know what? Show me how this works. Just show me how it works. And they'll be able to tell you what they're doing. If they don't know because they're new too, guess what? There is somebody there in your virtual office, if you are a current member, that you can look up there and you can see all the people in your structure that can help you to achieve that target. So keep an open mind of it. Start sharing because people need this information. And there is no other thing that they can do in today's, well, not even just today's environment, in any environment where it's not going to be costing them an arm and a leg to be able to get ahead. And I guess that's probably why people don't value it, right? Because they're not paying money for this. I paid $40,000 for my franchise. I worked my ass off to make that successful. But when people are not having to outlay money to do it, they don't really see it as a serious opportunity, and yet it is. So maybe open up people's eyes to that potential as well, guys, when you're sharing with them as well, because Lord knows they all need it, right? We all need that extra bit to carry people through. And 95% of people over the age of 65, they found, that are going into retirement with very little to survive on. And that's bad. It's bad that 65% of our population are going to be on unemployment benefits or trying to earn an income through social, what's it called? The one that they've been lining up for?
Social, the dole.
Social Security.
Social Security. Okay, awesome.
See you later, guys.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.